Hey, Coach Mendoza here with Momentum for Life. I want to share real quick a story from when I was younger. And it has a purpose, and I'm excited to share this. Way back in 1997, I was 18 and I graduated high school, and I had moved from California to Utah. And I was working for a company that my uncle was president of, a construction company. And while I was working here, I had the opportunity to work on the new University of Utah Stadium. Now, this was to me, awesome opportunity. First of all these buildings downtown, way bigger than anything I had seen where I grew up. So I was already excited, right, to be part of this. And here I am working at a university. I just thought it was so cool. The other thing that I found really awesome was we were not just renovating and building a new stadium for the University of Utah. We were actually building the home for the Winter Olympics for the opening and closing ceremonies. How cool is that? So here I am, 18. I weighed about 115 pounds, soaking wet. Probably was just over 5'6" at the time. And construction was not something, for a little guy like that. I'm gonna be honest. But I did my best, right? I did what I could, my size. I wrestled in high school, so I knew being tough wasn't the issue. It was just my size being small. So where did I get put? I get put doing survey. So got the little, you ever see the guy standing in the road with the little eyeball thing, and someone's got a little box and they're staring through it? I was a rod guy, is what they call it. I'm a rod guy. Yes, the dumb end. I was on the dumb end. So here I am, checking different points, and lunch was quickly approaching. And you have to know, this is after a couple months working at this construction site. I see we built this giant red tower. It was incredible to me. I'd never seen something so massive and large as this tower. It was huge, and we had poured concrete for 7 days straight, built this huge tower. Now, with this, there was a rope hanging down off the very top of this tower that stood hundreds of feet tall. And if ever when you were a kid, I knew this was something I did often, whether it was with an extension cord, cables, ropes, the hose, right? You take it, right, and you whip it, and it does this cool little thing all the way down to the end, and then it stops at the end. Well, I'm like, look at this rope. How perfect is this? It's hanging off this giant tower. I wonder if I whip this rope real good, how high it can go, and if it'll reach the top. This little whoop thing, right? So I take it and I do a quick little snap of my wrist, and I watch it go all the way to the top. But cool enough, it came back down. I could feel it hit my hand when it came back down. Boop. And I'm like, that was awesome. I'm gonna do that again, but a bigger one. So whip it real good. It goes, comes back down. Boop. Huh, I wonder if I can do two. Shoot it up to the top, comes back down. Boop, boop. 3, boom, boom, boom. And I'm just thinking, this is so cool. Then I have this thought. I wonder what that rope is even tied to up there. I know, I probably wasn't the sharpest crayon in the box. Here's what happened, is I grabbed this rope, and I ever so gently give it a tug. And I'm like, okay, it's tied to something up there, I think. So then I get my foot up there like this, and I give it a harder tug. I mean, I only weigh 115 pounds, so really, what am I gonna do? And it doesn't move. And I'm like, wow, okay, so now I'm like, I'm gonna give this thing a real good pull. I guess part of me is thinking, I wonder if I can kind of climb up this rope like this and climb part way up. But that is not the case. I get on there and I start pulling real hard, and as I look up at the top of the tower, what I see is the tower getting ready to fall on top of me. This giant concrete tower that's hundreds of feet tall. I am so scared that my legs literally leave my body. I fall to the ground. I'm scurrying on my hands and knees, trying to climb away from the tower falling on me. Now, what you have to know is that obviously a 115-pound kid is not going to pull this giant concrete tower down, right? It was an optical illusion. I'll use this as kind of explain what happened here. So here we are. Here's this optical illusion that the tower's sitting, right? And I'm down here at the very bottom of this tower, little tiny guy, pulling on this rope. There's these fast-moving clouds that are going over top. And as they're traveling over the top of this tower, what I see as I'm pulling down, I see the tower going like this, falling towards me, when really they were just traveling over top. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying, right? As soon as I get up, turn around, look back at that tower, I hear on my little radio, "Hey Mendoza, did you think you pulled the tower down?" And I hear a bunch of people laughing. And it was pretty dang embarrassing for quite some time going to work, people thinking that, I thought I pulled this giant concrete tower down. No matter what, my mind played a game with me and said, hey, you pulled the tower down, you're gonna die, your life is over as you know it. And I think there's so many times in our life where we believe there's some tower that has happened to us and we see it falling. And what we don't want to have happen is us to be laid out in the dirt, scurrying, curled up, thinking, I'm gonna die, and you just lay there and that's the end, right? Because that's not the end. And oftentimes our mind is so strong and powerful, when these little things happen to us, we believe it's this giant concrete tower that's coming down to fall on us and kill us dead. And that is just not the case. Lots of bad things are gonna happen to us in our lives. You may lose a job, you may lose a family member, you may get a bad grade on a test that you're taking, your basement may flood, maybe your house caught on fire. But none of these things are the end of you. You can survive these things. You have survived every hard thing that has ever happened to you. I know that if you can simply stand up, turn around, face that tower, and realize it is not as scary as you may believe, and it's not coming down, and it's not coming to kill you. I know that. You want to build some more momentum in your life? Find ways to face those towers in your life.